and good evening, and welcome to the Ask Sue show. Hope everybody's all okay. I'm very glad to tell you we've got an excellent show coming up tonight, but firstly I need to tell you we've actually had some sun in the UK. But unfortunately I spoke about it too much, obviously, because I woke up this morning to rain, which was never a good thing. You know, at the end of the day, the Ask Sue show likes love, laughter, and sunshine. And, of course, if you're going to be sitting in the house to get it, then so be it. What the heck? If that's the way it's got to be, so be it. So talking of sunshine, love, laughter, guidance, and a bit of a helping hand, that would only mean we'd have to have our very special guest this evening, Lisa Barretta. Hi, Lisa. How are you doing?
Hi, Sue. Thanks for having me back on.
Oh, always a pleasure, always a pleasure. How are you doing? What have you been up to?
Oh, doing good. Just I'm enjoying a little bit of sunshine here myself. It was raining earlier, but now it's nice.
Oh, well, it's sunshining everywhere now, Lisa. Now we've got you on the show.
Okay, I'm ready.
Now, obviously this evening, obviously I spoke to you only yesterday, actually, about the fact, everybody knows, I've got spiritual children, gifted and everything, and I wanted to speak to you about children, about how they're affected by, spiritually affected by things, and also, obviously, about their star signs as well and how that affects them and everything as well. So give us a bit of start the show off. Tell us about how we can help our children, I suppose, is probably the best way to start off. You know, how does it affect different ones? Are they all spiritually gifted?
Oh, I think so, and especially now the souls that are coming in, they're part of our, you could say our evolution into being, you know, more sentient, more psychic. I mean, the world is not only ready for these gifted star children, but definitely it's the right time for them to enter. And earlier today I did a show on astrology here in the States, and we were talking about how the prenatal eclipse, the eclipse that occurs before a child's birth, is so significant in their life. So, you know, because the eclipses more or less can tell you what their mission is, where they come in. And, for example, we had mentioned that the eclipse that hit most of the children that were victims in that Newtown school shooting back in December of this year here in the States, how most of these children had a prenatal eclipse before they were born. The eclipse was in the Virgo-Pisces axis, showing that they were here to serve, there was a mission, and they kind of came into, even though they lost their lives at such a young age, their mission was to serve. And, you know, we can tell a lot by the prenatal eclipses. Also, our children, by knowing their sun signs, we can more or less tell, like, you know, where they shine the most, wherever the sun is, what placement it is in the house. That's how come it's so important, everyone. Record your child's birth time. I get so many clients who aren't too sure what time they were born in. Just having that birth time can really help a good astrologer, you know, guide them through some twists and turns in their lives and make the right choices. The moon is your child's emotions, how they are emotionally, how they're connected to their mother, their home. Mercury is how they think. Venus is their values, not only in love, but also with money, their toys, their things. Mars is their ambition, drive, athletic ability. Sometimes a child with a Mars, say, that is in a sign like Cancer may not be as outward as someone who has Mars and Aries. So when you know this about your child, you may not push them into sports or expect them to always, you know, raise their hand in class. Jupiter is their friend, so knowing where a child's Jupiter is, not only by sign but by house placement, you can see, like, okay, if they need some guidance or if they're going to be in with the right crowd. Saturn, that's the discipline in their life. That's where they're anchored. It's also the relationship with the father or the father figure. It's their limits. Uranus is where they pull their stuff, where you can expect them to do the unexpected. Neptune has to do with their dreams, their aspirations, their pretend life, their fantasies. And Pluto is where they have their massive changes of life. But Pluto, since it's such a slow-moving planet, it's more of a generational type of influence. Like we had the baby boomers, we had the hippie generation, the Generation Xers. So Pluto more or less is a trend, you know, and just knowing this information about your child can help you, you know, guide them and help them develop their strong points and their talents instead of expecting them to always just have to fit into a certain situation. We're all different, so this new paradigm is not about labeling anyone, but understanding, everybody's gifts and working with that energy.
Yeah, definitely. Well, it's quite funny. You say going through all them things, and I'm thinking, that's a good thing. I haven't got their little red. In the UK, I don't know about you guys, but we have red books that we're given to our babies when they're born, and it goes through right up till when they're like 5-7 years and stuff, and it tells you their weights, what they were on a certain date, and then they've got graphs of how tall they should be and how short they should be, or whatever. Do you know what I mean? And I'm thinking, oh, now where are they? Because I really need them, because they've got the times that they were born.
Oh, you got to get that, Sue, because I know you had sent me the birth dates of your children. You have in October 7th, is it?
That's right, yeah.
October 7th.
October the 7th is my 17-year-old daughter.
All right, so that's a Libra. Your daughter's a Libra, of course, and coming out of a 2-year period where just that's the first, like when, Saturn hits your sun, sometimes it's like you don't want limits. You want to run your own life, and you sometimes, push the bar a little bit higher to see who's going to win, but that's coming out of there now. Then we have in April 14th.
Yep,
is that
Jamie.
correct?
He's what is he now? He's 13. 14, sorry, now. 14, he's just had his birthday.
Okay, so that's going to be, so he's in Aries. And right now with Aries, well, Aries might have had a little bit of a tough time when we had all those planets going through there back in March. But that when Uranus approaches the sun, that's almost a eureka effect. All of a sudden, he knows what he wants to do, where he's going to go, and making a lot of quick decisions that ultimately will change his life and put him on like the path that he wants to be on. And then we have 12/28 Capricorn.
Yep.
Is that correct? Yep. Okay, Capricorns. Yep. They're experiencing a lot of changes now because Pluto's gone through their sign, and it's a time of just kind of coming into your own a little bit. Capricorns are usually kind of reserved, but I feel that this with Pluto there, they're also getting in touch with maybe their lighter side too, not being as serious-minded. But this is a Capricorns. You're going to find a lot of Capricorn children being our leaders because Pluto's going through that sign, and they're going to be the initiators of a lot of change and a lot of transformation coming up. And they're usually pretty grounded as children and psychic as well, but in a very grounded sort of way, not in a frivolous way. And then we have, May 21st? Gemini?
That's right.
Gemini.
Yeah,
there's
the baby of the family.
And there's your soul connection. Usually when you see some type of you can actually in the charts, if I have a parent's chart, I can usually see a past life connection with the children. Sometimes they will have their moon in the same sign as one of the parents, or maybe the nodes of the moon, which is basically the ascendant and descendant of the moon, will be in a very significant aspect to something in one of the parents' charts. So this is your real connection right here. Someone came in from a past life. I'm sure you're connected to all your children, but the 521 is a real strong connection that came in.
That's really funny because me and Max, and I've got to say hello to Max who's in the chat room, of course, your number one top fan, after me, of course. But I've got to say that with Janet, you're right. She's, I can only explain Jaleesa as an old spirit. She's been here, I don't know how many times. I've actually asked spirits to guide me because she's struggling a lot at school. She's struggling with friendships and everything. But I feel it's like she's got an old head on her shoulders. It's like she just can't be bothered with them. They're too childish for her almost. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, we're going to have an
She's not good at her lessons, but she's so switched on. She's like, she says things, Lisa, that I think if I wasn't looking at her and I didn't know her, I would turn around to expect a 30, 40-year-old person to be stood there.
Yeah, very, very psychic. Very, very psychic. Do you know her her exact time of birth?
I don't. I can't. Do you know, I must admit that's one thing I've never clicked on it, but I will find out. I'm trying to think.
Because it was May 21st,
I tell you what, it was. Hold a minute.
2002, correct?
It was about 7, 8 o'clock at night.
And around that time?
It's around that time, yes.
And, okay, and what city was she born in?
She was born in Doncaster in Yorkshire.
How do you spell that?
Doncaster.
Doncaster, right? And that's Yorkshire?
Yorkshire. Yorkshire.
Let's see if I can get that up. Okay, and that was May 21st, 2002?
That's right, yeah.
Okay. She's
currently outside with Bill as they're having a bonfire outside, and I think they've actually got it on the laptop listening. So hi, Jana and Bill, that are in the garden.
Hi. Okay. Let's see what I can come up with. Maybe I can just get the rising sign, because you said that there's been a little something going on in school.
Yeah.
And that's okay.
It's a hard time because she's just leaving the primary school and moving up into the secondary school. That they're the oldest of the school. There's a lot of changes coming on. Do you know what I mean?
Right.
And they're just trying to find themselves. But Jana's really struggling. She struggles with friends and stuff. But I don't know how to explain. I love all of my kids, but there's something with Jana that's, I feel like she's been here before somehow.
Okay. Let me see if I can. So this is in the UK, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Let's see what I get here. She's struggling with school?
Yeah.
Right. This thing doesn't want to seem to be working today. Let's see. I'm going to try another program. While we keep talking, I'm just going to put her in my other program to see if I could get it up for us. We have a big eclipse coming up tomorrow, and everyone's like kind of concerned about that because we have 5.
I'll tell you what. Have you found it?
No, I'm putting it in my other program. This one program isn't cooperating today, but I have another program where I just want to see if I could get her ascendant. This way we could use her as our case study here, and see if we can come up with something. Okay, so it was the 21st of May, right, 2002?
Yeah. That's right, yeah.
Okay, around 7 p.m., correct?
Yeah.
That's close enough, right?
Yeah.
Okay, and in the UK, right? Great.
That's right, yeah.
And, okay, let's see what we get. This should do it for me. This program is much better. Okay, I got it. Now let me see what transits are going through. See, sometimes your birth chart is one thing, and then you find out that, okay, there's a planet that by transit may be coming along and may set something off in the birth chart too. So
okay.
It's really good. If you have this knowledge with your children, I really wish they would teach it in school. It's ancient.
Absolutely. We'll come to that in a bit. I'll be quite inspired by that.
We're headed there. Okay. Oh, I see. Here. Well, if she was born around 7 p.m., she would be a Scorpio rising. There comes the psychic ability. Also, which means the eclipses this year are all on the Scorpio-Taurus axis, which means where we can expect our changes. So things may have started to shift in for her, I would say, probably around last November. Think back, maybe around November 13th, there may have been a little eclipse on the ascendant. Then there was another one again in April. So these were significant months, for her. And she has a cluster of planets in the 8th house. We have Mercury, Saturn, the north node of the moon. We have Mars. We have Venus. We have Jupiter. All of these planets are clustered in the 8th house. And do you know what that tells me? She's going to be able to talk to the other side.
That wouldn't surprise me.
Her sun is at 0 degrees Gemini. Her Mercury is 8 degrees Gemini. Mars is 25 Gemini. Look at that. Saturn is in Gemini. Uranus, is in Aquarius. And we have the north node of the moon in Gemini, which means the south node is in Sagittarius. So the south node, which means she came in, the south node usually shows your karma, like what you kind of bring into the life. So she has the South Node, which would be 17 degrees Sagittarius, which is in her third house of communication, teaching. Past life, she was a teacher, a communicator. She taught a lot. And in the North Node, here it is expressed more through its 17 degrees Gemini. So everything she has taught before, she's going to express it. I really feel she's going to talk to people on the other side. It's in her 8th house here. It's
right,
in her
okay.
8th house. That's the house of where the goods of the dead, dealing with the dead. It's also very a house of transformation, too. A lot of change, a lot of transformation. Saturn on one side and Mars on the other. Has she displayed any type of intuitive ability yet? Scorpio rising, it's really amazing.
How can I explain with Jana is she's just way beyond the years, is the best way I can say. I mean, I say
an old soul. She's an old soul, yeah.
Max will tell you, right, just for one instance. The one day me and Max were talking on the Skype, and Jana was in the kitchen, and she was coming out of the kitchen. She said to Jamie, who's now 14, who was 13 at the time, she says to him, Jamie, I've told you it's not going to cook itself, and when it's cooked, you've got to take it out of the microwave. How many times do I ask?
Oh, wow. So, I mean, like, she just knows, huh? Hello?
Hello there, Lisa, you there? Okay, we seem to have lost Lisa as well. Now, I don't know if everybody got cut off, but hopefully we'll be able to get Lisa to go back in. I obviously had a problem, was chucked straight out of there. So we'll hopefully get Lisa back on in just a second. Let me just see if I can message. Let me just see if she's here. Oh, I don't believe it. We were doing so well. Okay, let me just see. I've just messaged Lisa on Skype just to see if she's here. Oh, okay. Hold on a minute. We seem to have a problem all the time in this Blog Talk Radio. Hopefully, you never know. It may come that we might be able to sort this out in just a moment. Right, I don't know what area code she is now. Let me just find out. No. Just 1 second. I do apologise. Anybody want to have a little sing-song in the chat room while we're waiting? We'll just see. Hold on. I'm hoping we'll be able to get her back in just a moment. Right, have we got... I'm just finding out which area code Lisa is. 1 second, I can't remember which one it is. Let me just have a look. Oh, dear me, this isn't fun, is it? Let me just have a little look. I'm just waiting to see what area code she is at the moment, so we're just waiting. How interesting is it? You know, as far as children, it's just amazing. Absolutely amazing. Let me just very quickly go down here. I'm just wondering if this... Hi, Lisa?
Nothing about that. I was confused. See, this is what these poor people go through. Freaking calling in our show. It's so confusing.
No, that one isn't Lisa. Let me see if this one
it isn't.
Lisa?
This is Frances.
Okay, Frances, just hold the line. Let me see. I can't find... Oh, here we are. I think we might have it. Hold on. Lisa?
Sue?
Hello, got you.
Okay, what happened? the whole
I
thing went
cut me
down.
off as well. Don't know. They obviously didn't like that part.
Yeah, right. You were telling me how your daughter was telling your son about the microwave and.
Yeah, she just says things so old-fashioned. Do you know what I mean? It's like, well, of course, and then she'll say things like, Mum, will you tell the kids they're messing about? Tell the kids.
God.
She's the baby of the family.
And he's an old
You know what I
soul.
mean?
He's an
Just
old soul.
really, really. How can you pick up Lisa? You're saying that you think that she's a past member of my family, okay? How do you work out who that is or what connections there is?
Well, what I was looking at, Sue, is you're a Gemini. Look at the connection that she has with you with all of these planets in Gemini, and then she also has the North Node in Gemini. So the nodes of the moon are usually very indicative of past life connections. So you and her went around before, you know. You definitely went around before. She could have been your grandmom or a great-grandmom or something in a past life. You know, in one incarnation, not your past grandmom, but I mean in a past life, you definitely went around with her before. Very connected. I mean, you're connected to all of your children, but especially the baby of the bunch.
Yeah. Now the thing is with Jana is like I must admit with Jana she wasn't planned or anything, and at the time I was thinking, you know, as soon as I found out I was like, oh gosh, what have I done? Because of the fact, I mean, I wouldn't do without any of them, not for the world, but she's just there's just a connection I can't explain. She's just so we walk sometimes to pick her up from the school bus, right, and it's a bit of a walk to go to the school bus, and we'll be talking coming down. And if I shut my eyes, I could actually imagine her being so much older.
Oh, wow. And you said that she doesn't really, this school here has been a little bit tough for her?
She doesn't like school. And the other thing is she's not very good at school. She struggles with the teaching. You know, she struggles being taught. She hasn't got a very high, she doesn't like to sit for very long and to learn. She just gets bored of it. And the other thing is, which you might be able to pick up on this, when she was in the play school one day, we had to take her to the dentist the one day, and so she was running a bit late. And when we got to the door, everybody saw her, the young kids saw her through the window. Anyway, when we opened the door, they were all chanting her name because they were all chuffed to see her. And they were going, Jana, Jana. And she just lost it totally. And I had to take her home. She just cannot cope with being the center of attention.
No, do you know what it is?
You can't.
She is a lot of the indigo children, the crystal children, the star children. They are so energy sensitive that when you put them in a large group or even take them out to places where there are large crowds, they're overwhelmed by so much energy. Because you know the way a fish has its gills on the outside and it jumps up and down your hand because it feels from the outside. That's how these intuitive psychic children are. They sense energy and they feel it even before they walk into a room. And at times it can be overwhelming. They don't do well in traditional classrooms. They don't like all that energy, and the traditional way of teaching bores them because on some level they already know this information, or they know that some of it isn't as important as it's being stressed. They know that living the right way or just intuitively works better for them.
Yeah. See, I've actually thought about teaching her at home, and I can't say I really thought about this at any other time, but I am thinking that maybe that might be the way to go with her. But then I don't want the others to think that she's having special treatment. Do you know what I mean?
Right, like homeschooling and but sometimes, I guess you're torn between two things because part of you may feel that she needs to be socialized with the other kids, and there's another part that because she relates differently to people, maybe being homeschooled, she would learn quicker. You know, usually intuitive children like that, they're they go through this little transition phase, and let's see, how old is she now? She's 11?
She's 11 now. Yeah. Sorry, she's coming up to 11.
Okay, but by the time she's 14, it's going to be very different for her. It'll shift up and change where she'll more or less be able to just sit in a class and kind of get what they're talking about. Right now she's overly concerned with the environment instead of, the books.
Yes.
It's just overwhelming. And I think that some of the other children, maybe who aren't as evolved as her, on some level they may sense that, hey, she's a little different. She knows what's up, you know? And if they, and that Scorpio rising, that's intense. That's intense.
Yeah.
2 of my children are Scorpio rising. And in school, yeah, they had their friends that they liked, but they were very, very selective because on a certain level, they can sense in a very Scorpio sort of way who's sincere, who's full of themselves, you know, who's good to be around. They're very discerning when it comes to energy that they deal with.
Do you know what, Lisa? That's pretty well in. Jana didn't say probably as grown up as what you just said, but that's pretty well what she said. Is that she says, Mum, she went, they want to be my friends, she said, but it lasts 5 minutes. She went, they make friends, and as soon as they make friends, she went, they'd fall back out with me again. She said, I don't want them then.
No.
But the thing is, she says things that really break my heart, and I'm sure other people are sitting there saying, this is my kid as well. She sat there and told me that one day nobody wanted to play with her, nobody wanted to talk to her, and she sat on the grass on her own, Lisa. And I said, but Jana, weren't you lonely? Or weren't you thinking, she went, well, no, she said, because at the end of the day, they were only being nasty, so I'd rather sit on my own. No child should be sat on their own. You know what I mean? And then
she's smart enough to know, she's so energy sensitive that, you know, we're finding out as we go through this phase in evolution, as I wrote in my last book, the Book of Transformation, that when you're around someone who has a cold, you can catch their cold. When you're around someone who has low energy or negative energy, that can also infiltrate your own energy zone. So on some level, she's smart enough to know that's not really good for her. It's better to sit off by yourself instead of, you know, take part in activities that maybe just she doesn't find really suitable for her own energy. She knows herself better than you think.
Yeah, she's just come in. She's just come in and she just looked at me, right, in such a way, and I stuck my thumb up and she went, and she put her thumb down and I said, why? And she went, you're telling them about my friends. I can consider myself grounded.
See that? You got to watch it.
Now, she's also, Lisa, and I'm going to be so grounded, so I may as well do it properly. She's struggling with a relationship with her dad. Jana, at 10-year-old, has decided she does not want to speak to her dad. She has told me specifically she does not want to speak to him. End of. No, there's no conversation, no nothing. And she's told me specifically, she said, I will ring him and I will tell him that I don't want to speak to him. I don't want to speak to him anymore because he put the phone down on her.
Oh,
and she has made it adamantly, perfectly clear that she does not want to. Oh, I'm getting really told off now. She just shouted through the back door.
That's the Scorpio. That's the Scorpio rising, you know. Once again, if they don't like a certain energy, they do not want to mingle with it. It doesn't mean she will never talk to him again, but not right now. You know.
Well, see, I've always said I will never force my kids to be with somebody, but I'll never force them away either. It's their choice.
Yeah. So I mean, and Scorpio is a fixed sign. So even though she's a Gemini, Scorpio colors the personality, and it's a fixed sign, which means. You know, you can be stubborn at times.
Do you know what, Lisa? I think I should just put Jana on. I think you need to speak to Jana, actually. Janet, would you like to speak to Lisa?
If I must. Yeah.
She said, well, if I must. Let me put you on to her for a minute. Here you go.
How'd you put it in?
Wait, just a minute. Can you hear?
Hello.
Hello, how are you?
Okay.
Well, you have a very nice chart. You have all the talents of a Gemini. You're going to find that you're a great communicator, and at some point in your life, I really do find that you feel that you will either write a book or be really involved in some form of communication.
Yeah.
Definitely, I see that for you. And a lot of talents too. Very intuitive, psychic. Probably take after your mom, where you just know certain things and you have a feeling about it too.
Mhm. Well, I'm actually very psychic, and Mum's not very, really. I'm better than her. I have to say that.
But it does show, even if school's a bit of a drag right now, I do feel that you're going to go further. You're going to go further than you think. I definitely see, use your, what some people may call imagination, which is really just your inner knowing, and you are going to write something. You may start to write a blog that becomes very popular, or that will turn into a book, or maybe someday even write for some type of a magazine or a newspaper. You could even find yourself in communications on the radio or television.
Well, I said to my mum, well, the kids, Emma said to me that Bill and Mum are going to get a caravan and take it somewhere else, and then when we move out. And I started crying that day because I thought Mum wanted us out literally when we were 18. But when I'm older, Bill said that I said I want to stay in the house and live in the bedroom, in my bedroom upstairs, what I'm sharing with Emma now. And I'm gonna have I'll get the bedroom to myself, and I'll eat, because I might not have any money. So Mum, she might let me pop up to the shop on my bike. Well, today I got a new bike.
Oh, I'll tell you, you're a very magical child. You're Scorpio rising, very intense. Whatever you set your mind to, you can do.
I agree with you.
Yeah, there's a certain intensity to Scorpio rising. And especially we have an eclipse tomorrow, which translation means that it's going to be in the Scorpio-Taurus axis. So the rest of this month should be very significant for you, as well as, wait do you see, I think November also coming up this year. Big changes, but good changes.
And I'm getting a very... Gone.
What's that?
Hello?
Hello?
Sorry, it went then.
Oh, okay.
What were you saying, sorry? I didn't, because it cut off and then I thought, what were you saying?
Are you there?
Yeah.
Okay.
Sorry.
But you have a very bright future ahead, definitely.
Mhm.
And you have travel in your chart. You will travel. You definitely will have some type of travel.
I'm actually turning into a very big girl.
I'm sorry, what's that?
Sorry. Oh my God. Sorry.
Okay.
I'm embarrassed now because you started digging the light. Nothing. Well, I'm actually turning into a very big girl because two of my teeth have came out, and I'm turning 11 soon. And my uncle said that I wasn't great at riding my bike, but I am now because I got my new bike today off him, and it was an early birthday present because I'm 11 soon.
Oh, wow.
And, I'll be older than Mum soon. Hopefully.
Oh, by the time you're, let's see, 11, by the time you're 14, 15, where do you see some amazing changes that come about for you? Also, as you develop your own abilities and just knowing and wise before your years. Hello?
Oh.
Oh, I thought we got...
So shy then.
Okay, I thought we got cut off again.
Sorry. I'm very shy as well. We've learned something today as well.
Okay. Well, you have to, let me know, keep me posted as to how you do.
Mum said I can stay on for a few more minutes.
Okay. You're probably good with pets also, huh?
Yeah, I'm very good with pets.
You probably can intuitively know what they need also, like a strong affinity with pets. And you do kind of know what they need, huh? Like an animal communicator in a sense.
Because we've got actually quite a lot of animals. We've got 15 cats what Mum's rescued.
How many cats do you have? 15?
Francis just got rehomed. She hasn't rehomed him yet. She's just got him in the house and we look after him. It's quite hard sometimes. And we've got 3 dogs, 4 rabbits, a snake, a tarantula, a fish.
You need a turtle. You don't have a turtle?
No, I don't have a turtle.
You have to get one. They bring some good luck. You have to go find one.
Bill wants one, but let's try to see that.
No, you make that'll be part of your mission to go find one. They'll bring you good luck.
I get very good luck.
Oh yeah, it'll even be better when you get that turtle. You probably, as you get a little bit older, or just try it sometime, just sit quietly, and in a little form of a meditation, you'll be able to link into prior incarnations, what you were, who you were, what you did, because you have a real strong ability in your chart to connect into the past.
Well, I was going to... Well, let me try and remember what I was going to say. Just a second, let me get my mind back.
Okay.
Well, I was going to say, while we've been speaking about me, I want to speak about you now.
You want to speak about me?
Okay,
you do the interview. You can practice.
So I want to ask you questions about...
Okay, go ahead.
How many cats do you have, cats or animals?
I have 4 cats.
Pardon?
I have 4 cats, 2 Siamese, a tabby, and a black cat.
What are their names?
Let's see. The black cat's name is Magic. The tabby's name is Alex. The one Siamese name is Caesar, and the other Siamese cat is named Wasabi.
Oh, nice names. We've got a cat called Alex as well. And we've got one called Domino. I've got one more minute on the phone.
Okay.
Not really, Mum said no. Get off now. Not really. Okay, thank you for speaking to me.
Thank you for keep me posted on your progress.
Thank you, Lisa, and have a very good night.
Okay, you too. Bye.
And here I pass you on to Sudi.
Okay.
Now do you see what I mean?
Very sweet, very mature, and she has your personality.
Yep. It's a case of you really had to talk to her to be able to understand. Do you know what I mean?
She's a doll, so she has great energy.
Yeah, she just so switched on with it all. Just so switched on.
Yeah.
So, apparently I was supposed to clap her off. Thank you.
Oh.
Thank you very much, Janice.
Yeah.
I think I've just lost my job, to be honest.
That's right. Put her on one day.
So, Janet, that's it. She's hyped up for the evening now. But this is the thing, I need to, obviously go back to the school thing, and I think a lot of people understand this. How do we deal with it? I'm thinking in the UK, if I was to go to her school and say, Jan is this, that, and the other, she can't take the fact that it's the classroom thing. I mean, they have actually said, but if I said it was due to where she is spiritually, where she is in the star signs and everything, they'd look at me and think, they'd probably have me locked up.
Yeah, isn't it a shame? I mean, they keep on denouncing our spiritual side, the subtle body, the energy body. And what they've done, they have just farmed it out to every organized religion around, where that's a big part of who we are. I mean, that is the main part of who we are. The physical body is just a manifestation of our thoughts and how we think and carry through karma. It's that subtle body. We need to work with the energy. And even in true healings, and people really have these miraculous healings, it's because they were working not only with the doctors and with the physical body, but also with holistic doctors, with integrated medicine to treat the thought vibration behind the illness, which Edgar Cayce was very, very big on. It's you have to treat the whole. The ancient Greeks also knew that too. You treat the mind, the body, and the spirit. And when we teach our children, we should teach them. We shouldn't say they have to be part of an organized religion to take care of their spiritual self. We have to understand it's an energy essence that we have. It's the energy of the teacher interacting with the other children. And I bet your kids would learn better if they were more or less put in classrooms where they all had maybe a common mercury factor, or a teacher who was, really astrologically attuned to them. But there would be so much trouble for them. They'd rather just lump everyone together, label everyone, and it's a shame. A lot of kids who are really spiritually developed and more in tune with their higher mind are put on Ritalin or put in the back of the class and thought to be unusual because they're just, don't fit the mold of what we think a child has to be.
Yeah. Do you know what, Lisa? I'll tell you what I'll do. I'll actually send you, I'll take some photographs of it and I'll send you the report that I have just got for Jana. Obviously, I won't mention this on the show, but some things poor Jana's got to keep confidential. But right. I will forward that to you. And all I can say is I wish you would come into the UK to be able to talk to them to explain. Because what you have said tonight about things is just totally, I can honestly say I think you're the only outsider who's actually been able to understand Jana.
Yeah, I see her chart, and it's a shame that, this is such ancient knowledge. The Sumerians gave it to us. It was a gift. Even when I put in the Book of Transformation, I believe in Chapter 5, I go into who taught us astrology, where it came from. It was from the angels. If more people knew that, they wouldn't just, consider it just some form of entertainment that you get in the daily paper or your, inbox on your computer. There's a lot more to it. And there's every form of astrology. There's medical astrology. There's horary astrology. It's very predictive. And at one time, it was only kings were privy to it, but they've turned it into just, almost something that's nonsensical, but into really, really a very, very developed way of understanding ourselves. Definitely.
And do you know what? I've just got to say, Max is just saying that we need you to come over to the UK and maybe do some seminars. And I was just thinking the absolute same thing. I think that would be brilliant.
I'd love to. I'd love to get my son and get his camera and have him come over there with me and just film things and get it all down.
Yeah.
Or maybe we could even see if there's an interest too. We could have a teleseminar. If anyone would be interested, we could put a teleseminar together and help people understand their children or their spouse or their neighbor. Yeah.
I just think that the thing is, I've tried to explain to school, the fact that she's older in her years. She's not daft. She just doesn't get the sitting in the classroom and writing. Oh, she hasn't got a lot of time. How can I put this? She does things to a top ability, right? Let's just say she's at home and we're doing stuff, right? She literally will do everything to a full capacity. Put it on paper and ask her to do something, she doesn't get it. It's like it just doesn't sink in so much. But I'm sure if I did something on a physical level and showing her things and different things, she would get that.
Absolutely. Because she has so many planets in Gemini, so that's a lot of Gemini energy. So sometimes you work with that energy, but also sometimes you know how to deal with somebody who has too much of an element. You try to balance it with something else. So when you recognize this, it creates a balance in the chart. She really is very spiritual, but not in the organized religious sense, but just in sensing energy, knowing certain things, very wise,
Yeah.
She's not somebody who knows that you really need algebra to get through life.
Yeah. Have you actually ever used algebra yet in your daily life, Lisa? Really?
Hell no.
Has anybody in the chat room ever used algebra really in their life? Anybody needed to find the answer of A plus B equals C? Anybody?
No.
I can honestly say, hand on heart, I have not.
Exactly.
Anyway, there's another question.
Unless you're going to be a mathematician, I use basic math to balance a checkbook.
Yeah. What do you want to take some phone calls, Lisa, about see if we've got any other people
Sure, because I have
their children?
I have about 10 minutes left, Sue, before I have to go and take my call, so that would be great to take some calls.
Yeah. Have we got anybody in the chat room who's actually would like to speak about their children? Anybody in the chat room? I'm just wondering if we have got some phone calls, but I'm not sure if they're all. Let's just go see if there's anybody that's wants to talk to you about their child in specifically. Hi, Sharon. Did you want to talk about your child at all?
Oh, I'm sorry. I don't have any children that I'd be concerned about at this time. I apologize. I can listen to your show, though.
Oh, we could talk about yourself if you have a...
Yep, Sorry, go on. Carry on.
I don't know what question would be appropriate to ask.
When's your birthday?
9/20.
Okay, so you're a Virgo, correct?
Yes.
Okay. Well, Virgos are okay right now. It's the end of February and a little bit of March could have been a bit of a trying time, or there could have been some, upsetment or something going on at that time. Can you remember back then what was going on?
Yeah, I don't have to think too hard about that.
Really, the Mercury retrograde kind of got you, and all those planets in Pisces were opposing at that time. So see if you understand that it's only astrological, it will pass, and you're going to be okay when you get through it. But
I hope so.
I think they're actually going to start to get better for Virgos too. Once Jupiter goes into Cancer, which is going to be the end of June, it's going to make it right now. Jupiter in Gemini squares Virgo, and it's probably squaring it right now because it's at its tail end, and you're at the tail end of the sign. So you could feel that, any type of luck that you need, or just that break that you need. Almost you have to force a situation, or you're just waiting for something to happen, almost as if you're in a holding pattern. But once we come into June, July, August, and over the next 13 months, you will find that things get a lot easier for you, especially with relationships with other people or any type of concerns you may have, whether it be about just health or finances. It's going to ease up.
Oh, wow. Okay, so just stay grounded, I guess.
Right. Just watch out for a relationship that you don't attract anybody who's full of a lot of BS. With that Neptune going through the 7th house. That's the only thing you have to look out for.
Okay. Well, there's a lot of dodging that kind of thing, but okay.
Is that okay then, Sharon?
Oh, it's wonderful. Thank you, Sue. And
okay, Sharon, thanks ever so much. Thanks very much, Sharon, for calling in.
Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you very much. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Right, we'll go to area code 856. Hi, welcome to the show.
Hi, how are you?
Okay, thank you. Who are we speaking to?
Rose Maria.
Hi, Maria. Are you okay?
Yeah, I'm good.
Okay. When's your birthday?
12/31.
Capricorn.
Yep. I can't talk real good with my tooth.
Okay. Now, Capricorns, especially the December Capricorns, are feeling a lot of changes coming in because of that planet Pluto. So you may feel changes either with, just your friends, your environment, your work, just, or something needs to change. Like you just need something to come about, to bring about that change, which it will, because Pluto does bring transformation. And once again, we're going to look at that planet Jupiter, which is going to go into Cancer the end of June, and June, July, August, September, October, November, that whole time frame right there. An opposition from Jupiter means you're going to have some choices to make in the upcoming months, which Capricorns are usually wise when they make their decisions, and it's going to bring about, or it's going to start to initiate some type of change for you.
Cool.
What year were you born?
74.
Okay, 1974. With 74, that would put us right into relationship family zone. So even though career is always important for everyone, it looks like primarily over the next few months, I would say until the end of the year, it's going to be more to do with like relationships and just that zone of your chart.
Cool.
Do you have any specific questions or anything in particular?
Pretty much communication with a relationship. Anytime.
Oh, okay. So that relationship's going to be focal point then between now and actually I'd say about October. Do you know the other person's birthday?
10/25/60.
Okay, Scorpio.
Mhm.
These eclipses, the one that we just had last week, well, I should say it was April 25th, really wasn't last week, and then the one that we're having tomorrow. Scorpios and Tauruses are really, they're going through a lot. They're shifting a lot. There's a lot of changes going up in them. It may seem like they don't know what they want, but that's really not the case as much as they're just trying to figure out where they're really going. Is it, not that it's been difficult, but do you feel like some type of a change around that relationship?
Pretty much. I know you've been going through a lot. I've been going through a lot.
It's going to settle down. In all honesty, between now and November 3rd till we have that other eclipse that comes around in cycles again, that doesn't mean things are going to be crazy between now and then. It could just mean, just be patient and understand that it is going to have an ending point. It's not going to be forever and ever and ever. There are a lot of the Scorpios are people that have planets primarily that are going to be touched off in Scorpio or Taurus that are hit by these eclipses are feeling changes somewhere in their life, whether it be finances, coming to terms with losing a job and trying to find another job or just dealing with money. There's a whole dynamic. Is that what he's going through?
He has his own business. I know there's not much money coming in, and I'm shifting again, and he has a kind of an idea of relocating again and staying put this time. So he doesn't have much time. I'm going home soon, very, very soon, within a month or so.
Yeah, see, it's probably going to settle in again, but it's probably going to take until around November. So it's a matter of do you want to hang in there, and a lot of Capricorns too are making changes and transformations because Pluto is almost beckoning them to do so. But you're a Capricorn. You usually the goat always goes up the mountain, never goes back down. So if there's uncertainty, you'll hold steady. I don't see you losing any ground.
Gotcha. Yeah, because he knows I'll come around that time of year, and he knows I won't be leaving this time.
But once Capricorn makes up their mind, they make up their mind too.
Mhm. True.
Well, I hope you feel better with your tooth.
Yeah. All right. Thanks.
All right.
Okay, Maria. We'll send you some healing as well, love. Okay.
All right. Thank you.
Okay. Cheers, Maria. Thanks very much. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Now, Lisa, can we do one for the road, as we say?
Sure,
because we've got a lady called Sandy who's on the line, and she wants to talk to you about one of her children. Hi, Sandy. Welcome to the show.
Hey, how you guys doing?
Hi.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, I was just calling about my kids. I have two, a 6 and an 8-year-old. They're both really, really in tune. They seem to talk to their guide often. Sometimes I'll even ask them questions and, hey, ask the guides about it, and they give me answers. But just kind of, how they are, anything I can do to help them along their path. Generally,
when are their birthdays?
My daughter is September 19th, 2006.
Oh, my God, that's my dad's birthday. They're real psychic.
How about
that's a psychic birthday. My dad's real psychic.
Yeah, I feel like she really is really in tune. And then my son is April 15th.
Okay, little Aries,
2005.
right?
Yes.
Okay. What I'm picking, well, of course, like the Virgo, especially with Neptune and Pisces right now, that opposition from Neptune is giving the choice to tune in and very, very intuitive, energy sensitive, to the point of maybe even being overly sensitive at times, but very energy sensitive, and as she gets older, I would not doubt one bit that your children are talking to their guides, because believe it or not, I get a few people each month that tell me their children are seeing other kids in the room or whatever. That's because the planet shifted. Of course, the scientists aren't telling us that. I wrote about it in the book of Transformation. that we're actually able to access the other dimensions now. And the children are open to it, where we are, as adults, have been taught not to really be open to it unless you were brought up in that environment. But the kids are just open. So it's like tuning into another channel. They have all the cable channels where we were just limited to 3 when we were growing up. Now your son is April 15th, right?
Yes. And
so
my son's April the 14th.
How about that? Now, see, with Uranus is in Aries, and it's going to be there for a good 7-8 years, and it's making its way through. Uranus rules the higher form of communications, as with anything electronic, computers, that lightning bolt effect. I would not doubt one bit that your son is also tuning in. And the more you encourage it, they just stay open, and it becomes a normal way of life, which a lot of other people have to, learn how to access that dimension. Your kid's already open to it. And
yes, and I'm open to it myself, and I access it myself, and, I encourage them to, also do the same.
When's your birthday?
Mine's October 3rd.
Oh, Libra, yeah. So I guess over the past 2 years you felt like that's Saturn, where sometimes that brings a little delay, some restrictions, but also an opportunity to build a better mousetrap, too.
Yes, I've grown quite a bit in the last 2 years, I will say.
Yeah, and that's good that they have a mom like you who's, open to it and to encourage them, because they'll benefit in the long run. It won't hurt them. It'll only benefit them. Hey, it's a lot better to work with 5 dimensions instead of 3.
Absolutely.
Yeah, you get a lot more done.
Yeah, Michaela is
quickly.
Right. My daughter is very sensitive. My daughter Michaela, she's really sensitive to things, and I can feel that with her. Is there anything I can do to kind of help her out with that, or you think she's doing okay?
I think she's doing okay, and since you're open about this, maybe just get her a little necklace. Find what type of sometimes stone energy or an essential
I work with
oil.
crystals, I do.
Yeah, a little crystal, or if you find the essential oil that may just work with her energy the best. Rose oil would be good for everyone, and just a little tiny drop on the back of her neck once a day helps to just.
You said
keep her
rose oil?
Yeah, I like rose oil because that's like a high.
She loves rose quartz.
Oh, really? Maybe it's something that's the vibration that's best suited for her.
She does seem to like the rose quartz. Yeah, she seems to gravitate towards those because I work with crystals and I make jewelry also, and she loves playing with it, and checking it out when Mommy's making it.
See that, and I'm really I wrote a blog last year. It was about I put let's all get stoned, like how to find the right crystal, the right stones for your own energy, and how you can really benefit from using stone energy. Yes,
absolutely. Some I can just feel by touching them. The vibration in the certain stones, and the ones that resonate, and I totally agree. Absolutely.
But that's great that they have a mom who's just into all this too.
Yes, I thought to myself the other day, I was like, I'm 33 years old, and I thought to myself, gosh, if I couldn't imagine knowing all this I know now at age 6 or 5, or 6 or 8,
Yes.
Like, wow, lucky them. So I agree.
Exactly.
I agree.
And do you know what the other thing is? If they know this much now, how switched on are they going to be when they're older? It's going to be mind-blowing.
They are going to lead the world.
It really is. I mean, they blew my mind already at 6 and 8. So, couldn't even imagine.
My son is 13 now. Well, he's 14 now. And one day we've been to my gran and granddad's, and my gran had already passed. My gran and granddad had passed. But we always used to call it my gran and granddad still anyway. Anyway, and when we left there, we got home, and Jamie said, "Mum, can I have a word with you?" And I said, "Yeah, what's up?" Jamie said, "On your own." And I thought, "Oh no, what's happened?" Do you know what I mean? As you do. And he said, "Mum," he said, "I've got to tell you something." I said, "Go on." He said, I said, "What's the matter, Jamie?" And he went, "I saw Grandad at the back of our car." I said, "Did you really?" He said, "Yeah, at Penley." And he went, "But Mum, honestly," he said, "he stood there and he waved at me goodbye." And I went, "But Jamie, that's lovely." He went, "But Mummy, he's dead." And he said, "How did he wave to me?" And I said, "Jamie, that's a gift that you've got." And it sort of opened from there. And then we got talking one night, and he actually said to me about when he was going in his bedroom, he said, "Mummy, they wait for me in my bedroom." He said, if I go to the toilet, we've got like 3 steps, and then it goes down onto the landing, and then it goes into the bathroom. And he said, Mum, when I go to the toilet, they are waiting at the bottom of the steps for me. He said, they wait for me, and they want to talk to me. And I said, but Jamie, this is where you just need to say to them, look, I'm a little bit busy, I need to go back to bed, or you need to talk to them and explain. I said, no, explain to him how he can shut off. He said, because I'll go back in my bedroom, Mum. He said, and I can see them in the window.
Oh,
and
my God,
so
he gets it.
switched on. It just amazed me. I mean, I was just fascinated by him. And then he got talking to Bill the one day, and we were saying, I said, do you pick up anything off Bill? And he was telling him all about when Bill was younger. He told him about how Bill used to annoy his cousin and stuff, and he was telling what was going on. And then he even picked up and he said, Mum, he said, I've got 3 children with me, okay? And I said, right, okay. He said, there's 2 girls and there's a boy. I said, right, okay. And he actually explained clothes. He explained what they looked like and everything. And he was actually talking about me and my 2 brothers, but my one brother looked like a girl because he got long ginger hair. And he explained the clothes, he explained our personalities, everything. How on earth do you explain that? For anybody who's listening thinking, what a load of rubbish, how would you explain that? He didn't see me when I was younger. He hasn't seen pictures because we haven't got a lot here of when I was younger. So how did he know?
You know, there is no time. Time is a loop. He just like knows how to shift dimensionally.
Yeah. Lisa, he's actually said to me how he walks in the house. He actually walks in the house, and he went round the house. He told me all about it, and it was apparently something of Bill's past. And he actually went. I said, so what year do you reckon it is, Jamie? He said, hold on a minute, Mum. He said, I'll just go down the stairs and I'll look at the paper that was on the kitchen table.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
That's awesome.
So that's just something he was born with, a gift he was born with.
Yes, definitely.
Dimensional
just
thing.
Amazing. Oh. Absolutely amazing. I mean, I've never forced it on them, but I've never shut them off from it. Do you know what I mean? And
right.
I think that's the thing. No, you know, if you're spiritual, don't force it on them, because if you force it on them, you know what it's like? If a mum tells their son or daughter, do this, what's the first thing they do? Not do it.
Right.
Do you know what I mean?
Right.
Whatever a mum or dad says, if they're told to do something, they'll never do it, will they? But I just let them get on with it. They've learned themselves. Do you know what I mean? They just taught. They've just gone with it. They've talked to me. They've explained to me things, and I've explained things back, and it's been brilliant. They're just amazing, absolutely amazing.
I love that.
Wow.
I mean, we should all recognize that our kids are already hardwired for this, and now that the energy has shifted, these kids definitely fit into this new paradigm of sensing.
Yeah.
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 Well, thank you for having me back on, Sue. I really appreciate it. I always enjoy myself. And, yeah, let's get a caravan going on, or we get a teleseminar, and if we get anybody interested, we'll enlighten them about how to understand your child and how to work with all of their gifts and their spiritual side.
Yes, thank you so much for taking my call. I appreciate it.
Bye.
Yeah, thank you very much, Sandy, for calling in. I appreciate that. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you.
Lisa, can you, just before you go then, just advise anybody that's got, maybe they aren't very spiritual themselves and they've got a child that is actually spiritual, and they're a bit like, they're saying stuff to me, and it's, you know, I can imagine a parent sitting there thinking, how do they know about my gran, or how do they know about my great-granddad, or whatever. Is there anything of quick, before you go, that you can guide people for this?
Oh, yeah. Instead of telling your kids, like, don't talk like that, or that's only pretend, it's not real, listen to them. And your own intuition will click in and tell you, hey, these kids are connecting. And listen to them, because really the kids coming in today they're the next step in our evolution. They are developed spiritually. They're very open, and they can offer us a lot of valuable information. The best way to understand your present is to understand the past, and these kids could help us bridge that by really listening to them. Sometimes they'll bring us messages, or just comfort in knowing that, hey, there is more to life than just, the 9 to 5 that most people feel that they're stuck experiencing, that there are other dimensions that we can access, and these kids are here to help us bridge that gap. And they're very enlightened. It's great, and enjoy your children, listen to them, and get acquainted with their spiritual friends that they're connecting with on the other side. They do exist. Yeah,
exactly.
And thank you
Lisa,
for having
I know
me.
we've got.
It's always great.
Oh, I really do appreciate you coming on the show. Thank you so, so much. I could keep you forever all on the show, honestly.
And we're going to be definitely be in touch. Right?
Sorry?
So we're going to be in touch. We're going to stay in touch, and let's see if we can put something together to help people understand their children.
Definitely, definitely. Lisa, thank you so, so much for coming on the show. I really appreciate it. Thank you so much.
Okay, love you all. Bye-bye.
Love you too. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
And anybody who wants to get in touch with Lisa, you can go to lisabarretta.com. And also you can email me, and I will by all means forward any details that you want about Lisa. You can email asksue@gmail.com. Now, obviously, we do have a 2-hour show, so we are going to continue. What we'll do is we will have a little bit of a tune. And what we'll do is maybe we could take some phone calls of people that are struggling themselves. Maybe we won't do some readings, but maybe, if you're struggling at the moment with how things are going, maybe, you just want a bit of guidance. Maybe, I don't know, let's just see how it goes. Let's just have an open phone line, okay? So what we'll do is we'll have a bit of a tune, and then we'll come back and we'll talk to a few people and see how you are getting on with, maybe there's been shifts, maybe there's been changes in your life, and you're wondering what's actually going to come up next. Let's see if we can all have a talk and maybe shed some light onto all of that. So what we'll do is we'll just have a little tune, and we'll be back in just a couple of minutes. And while we listen to tune, go and have a look at lisabarretta.com. Back in a moment. Hi, and welcome back to the Ask Sue show. Hope you've had an excellent first hour of the show, and that music very relaxing. So let's think about this. What is the world going to be like, let's just say in a few years' time when our children are grown up? We're talking about Jana, who's very much switched on and old in her years. We've got Jamie, who is literally, how can I put it, switched on, can pick up things around him. They can see spirits already at 14 years old. What is he going to be like by the time he's 30? When you think of all the different things that these children can see now, how, I'm going to say, educated are they going to be when it comes to when they're older? I think amazing is the word. Now, I'm going to take a few phone calls and just to see, what people are doing, how they're getting on, and then we'll just see how it goes. Let's just have an open show, and we'll just see who's about and what's happening, shall we? So we'll go to the first caller. Let me just have a look. I'm just trying to make sure we haven't been to these. I'm not sure if we haven't had some of these people already. Area code 914. Hi, welcome to the show.
Hi, Sue. It's Melissa. How are you?
Hi, Melissa. How are you doing?
I'm doing fine. I'm still writing.
Oh, yeah. How are you getting on?
You know what? I do it when I listen to music, or I just because I daydream a lot.
Yeah.
So I've been trying like that. But I gotta make sure I email you so I can email you my email address.
Yes.
So I'll make sure I do that.
Yes, definitely.
And right now, I can say things are getting kind of like really short because it's like every time I turn around, it's time to pay rent. I never get to do anything nice for myself,
Right.
And it's like I want to put food on the table and do rent. And I said to myself today, I'm like, you know what? I feel like I tried to make a pendulum before. Are you going to laugh what I made this out of? I made it out of a bobby pin, like a clip that you put in your hair, with a string of dental floss.
Really?
Yes.
Okay.
So I tried it, and it worked, but I had a bad dream over it, so I threw it in the garbage. But
Do you know what came to me as you were saying that? I don't want to know what the question was that you asked it, right? But what I want to say to you is, whatever you asked it maybe wasn't quite right, and the dream was trying to tell you what you actually asked it. Maybe it's telling you that you've got to be careful.
Oh, really?
Right. I just want to say to people, sometimes, don't always look at everything as a bad thing. Okay, we see people say about nightmares, okay, and I say to people, nightmares aren't always a bad thing. Sometimes nightmares can be just guiding you. Don't always think of it as a bad thing. Why should somebody showing you something that you need to have guidance for be a wrong thing?
That's true.
So just rethink. You might have to go back through that garbage now, in all fairness, but what I'm going to say to you is just have a think about what you dreamt and just look into it and see if there's something that maybe you can think to yourself, actually, yeah, that would make sense. I can see why that would do that. Do you know what I mean? Just look at it a bit more into it.
You know what? I threw that away like 2 months ago because I said, "Oh my God,
time to build a new one."
I was like, you know what? I didn't do like how you want to say, whoever for this pendulum love and light, or my ask for my love and light angels. I didn't do that. I just started asking. I actually bought a scratch off, and then before I even scratched it, I said, did I win, yes or no? And they said no. And when I scratched it, it really was no. And I was like, this is funny.
But you know what, though? I would never laugh at somebody who made something like that. I should tell you why, because I always think things like that, you are just as much connected as if you went and spent a load of money on something special. I'm very much think to myself, spiritual people are not money or shouldn't be, let me say that, shouldn't be money orientated. Years ago, they wouldn't have all these fancy things and everything. They would have just made things just like you have, and as long as you're connected to it and you've got belief in something, why should it not work?
And that
goes for everything. It doesn't matter if it's a dream or whatever it is. Why do we always look at things materialistic? Why does it have to be a $200 beautiful gift in a big, beautiful gold chain with a lovely little crystal at the bottom? Why does it? Who said?
That's true. I might as well pick up I might as well use a rock because everything you touch has energy, right?
Absolutely. And
even trees.
And your beliefs are in your mind. Your beliefs are around you. Your guides are around you. It doesn't matter what you're holding, I believe. Do you know what I mean? I know that there is crystals that obviously have got energy and they've got different energies for different things. That's fine too. What I'm saying is things like that you can also make yourself too, I believe, personally believe. Because spirits are all around us. Our guides are all around us.
So that was probably one of my guys answering my question.
Yeah.
Wow.
Would that make sense to you? Think back about the questions that you were asking it. Would that actually make sense?
You know, I don't know because I was asking so many different things. I think it probably said, leave me alone.
You know what it was? It was your guides telling you you're being a nightmare because they've forgotten what question you asked the first time.
But you know what? I wanted to know, like, do my guides have, like, a lucky number for me? Because I always ask them, you know, tell me my dreams, a lucky number. Because you know what? If I can just put food on the table this week and pay my rent, I will be blessed. And if that means I got to do something like go to the store and if I see a homeless person, buy them some bread and some peanut butter and jelly, I will do that. I would do that.
You know what? It's quite funny because I was talking to somebody today actually, and we were saying about the fact that, you know, spiritual people and good people don't think about doing something to reap a reward. And I know that you're not somebody who would go and help somebody and wait for the answer of it or for a present back or anything. You would appreciate just a thank you. Now, the funny thing is, I'll tell you...
Oh, yeah, I like to give everybody anything. My last $1, I will give it.
Yep. Right, so I will say to you, right, that I'm going to... Okay, a little bit of personal about me for a minute. I've had quite a rough last few months financially, okay? And I actually asked Spirit, and I said, listen, if this is... And I always say this, right, because my nan always said to me, I want doesn't get. You never say to spirits, I want this, I want that. You'll never get it. You ask for what you need. Okay? There's a difference. What I want, a black BMW 4x4 with tinted windows and the brand new. Okay? I want it so it comes straight out the showroom. That's what I want. Okay? What I need is I need to be happy. I need to be loved. I need my children to be okay and safe and well. I need to be financially okay as far as making sure I've got a roof over my head and making sure that my family's okay and that we're fed and watered and everything. That is a difference.
Oh, okay? Wow. So probably all the time I say, I want, they probably say, excuse me, there's no want. There's like you have to earn.
Yeah, you know what I mean? It's what you need. It's just imagine, right? Everybody in the whole world got to say, I want, and they said something. Let's be realistic. Could the spirits or anybody really financially be able to give them everything that they want?
No.
But realistically, the whole world can give people even what they need. Realistically, not all them thousands of people need to be starving in this world.
Exactly, but I don't know how, but, you know, hopefully in time I hope that...
So I want will never get. I need is what you need. You need to have those things. And this is the thing. I think that nowadays people have just got so greedy that it's like people are saying that they want this and they want that, and I'm thinking, you know what I mean? Are we ever grateful? I actually watched a video on YouTube the other day, and I want everybody to have a look at this. I haven't got it up to be able to put it in the chat room, but just type into YouTube, no hands, no legs, no worries. I'll tell you what, I'm going to find it, and I'm going to post it in the chat room. It's an amazing man who has got no legs, no arms, but he is amazing. And I sat there and thought, we've got no reason to be ungrateful anymore. We should be grateful for everything that we've got and not be ungrateful for what we haven't. Do you know what I mean? And
absolutely right.
His words were, I can ask all I like. I want new legs, I want new arms, and I want this, that, and the other. He said, I'm never going to get it, right? But then he said, I also, at the end of the day, can't hold my wife's hand, but I can hold her heart. And I just thought, how very true. He can't hold her hand, but he can hold her heart. What a beautiful thing to say.
That is beautiful.
Do you know what I mean? And do you know what? For all these people who say, I can't do this, I can't do that, I want you to watch that film. He has got no arms and no legs, and he climbs out of a swimming pool with his chin.
Wow.
I've never seen a guy like it. He is absolutely amazing. He was in a school, and he was talking to children in a school, and these young girls and lads had tears running down their face. He was just amazing. Absolutely. I would love to get him on the show because he just blew my mind. He was just amazing, an advocate for everybody, an advocate for the whole world to realise it's not what you want, it's what you do with what you've got.
That's true. Wow, he made children cry. That shows you how deep he touched their heart.
Yep. Honestly. Do you know what? I'm always full of sayings, aren't I? My dad used to always say to me, crying is not a sign of weakness. It just shows you've got a heart. Wow. And that's what them kids have got. Except the trouble is nowadays with some of society, they're not allowed to show their heart. They're not allowed to show their feelings because they are told it's a sign of weakness. It isn't a sign of weakness, not even for a guy. It's not a sign of weakness.
Yeah, but they tell men not to cry all the time. They tell them you're not a man if you cry.
Exactly.
So if they cry, they show they have feelings.
It's crazy, isn't it?
About that.
It's absolute crazy. So how are we getting on with this writing? And what are you writing about at this moment? Give us a little bit of an insight.
Right now, you know what? I've been thinking about the fairies lately and the gnomes, and I'm like, a lot of people say they see them. Like they say children see stuff like that.
Yep.
How the lady was talking about how like they're open, they can see a lot of things. And it's like I'm like, you know what? I want to open up the book as to letting people know about stuff like that, like about the gnomes and the fairies, because you know what? Probably there was a long time ago, as we in our past life, we probably was friends with them, and probably who knows what had happened, because society shuts a lot of things off, so you won't get to. They think of it as it's not real. Yeah.
And this is the thing. Don't you think, though, there is more things being shown to us now than ever before? I really do feel like the world is actually waking up. Slowly but surely, I do believe it's... I must admit, I do get really frustrated with those that are asleep, but it's like I've always said, if the house was on fire, if somebody's house was on fire, they would want me to kick the door in to make them aware there was a fire. What people need to realise is there's a fire going on in the world, and I'm trying to kick their door down to show them that this world is actually a light, and they need to realise. They need to awaken to it.
Exactly. You know what I do too? I meditate. I think when I meditate, you know what too? I might not got to be gifted as a child as the children were, as how they're open now, but I can say now, it's like since I meditate, it's like like they say, when you're asleep, you see everything. So it's like I can remember all types of details than when I used to when I didn't meditate. And I actually had a woman come at my window before a couple of times, like staring at me, but when I was sleeping. And I asked the woman, what was that? Why is this lady come 2 times in my dream and staring at me? No matter what room I was in, she was staring at me. And they said, a lady had told me that that woman used to live here, and that she was not trying to harm me or anything. She was just curious and trying to reminisce about how she used to be here.
Gosh, it's amazing, isn't it? It is amazing.
I never felt anything like that, and I couldn't believe it because her presence, I felt it, and I'm like, whoa. I'm like, this is too much for me. But you know what I learned now too?
Did you feel after though that the house seemed calmer?
I don't know. I just felt like I felt a little strange because I said, oh my God, I'm like, is this real that this woman's staring at me? Because I said she was an old woman. And like, you know, and I was explaining to the woman what she looks like a little bit, and I was just like, okay, this is real. You know?
But do you know what? How much? I think that you've actually been asking for more proof. You wanted something of concrete evidence. Yes.
I think I got that. I already got the proof.
Yeah, I got the proof already. They're actually getting messages to you to prove that you are talking to somebody who used to live in the house. That's amazing.
And I'm just like, wow. But the only thing I've been trying to do lately is I try to talk to the archangels. You know, I ask them for guidance and stuff like that, and I realize now that before something happened, I just say, oh, this is what's going to happen, so-and-so. And I'm like, how do I, you know, you just say stuff, and people are like, I never told you that. So I'm starting to, like, listen, then, because I learned now you have to listen more, because that's the only way you'll get to know. Mm-hmm. Even though I didn't get to get the physical them to say, hey, or I didn't get my angels yet to tell me, hey, you know, we'll have a conversation, we get to talk, you know.
Yeah. And this is the thing, I think that's a good thing for a lot of people is that we don't listen enough, do we, of what's going on around us. Sometimes, and I'm part of that, I've got no patience, I can be stubborn and independent, and sometimes we don't listen.
Exactly. Sue, I wanted to ask you, did you ever see, and I've been seeing this, so I've been trying to talk to them and stuff, but do you ever see the trees that they actually have faces? Because around where I live, I see that all the trees have faces. And I'm like, I didn't realize that before, but now I say good morning to them and stuff because, you know, you don't realize that there's a lot of stuff in nature that you didn't see before.
No. Do you know what's really funny? And isn't this funny? I've never thought about this before until you just said that, right? When I was a kid, I used to love trees. And every time I used to go to school, I used to always do topics about trees because we used to, when we were younger, we used to go wooding to go and get wood for people and stuff. And I used to love the smell of the wood, and I loved trees, and I'd know all about their grain inside them, and I'd see it, and I'd almost feel like the grains were hard. It was like, and you're right, and I've seen trees that look like they've got faces, and
they look like they've been here. Yeah,
and it's funny, isn't it funny? Because you just made me think about that, and I can actually see in my mind at the moment a tree that used to be where I lived, and it actually got a face, and there was a hole in the tree that looked like a mouse.
Wow.
And it's just you reminded me of that made me just think of that. It's quite, is it weird?
It's like you know what, I think they hold on more stories about Earth more than anything. Because, you know, they've been through everything, so I think they know a lot. And I'm like, they have their own spirit. It's just that we don't realize it.
Yep, I agree. Maybe that's something else you could talk about in your writing.
I know, right? Something about them in it because I see their faces and I'm like, wow. I said, these are like, and it's not like, and some of them have like emotion in their face. You know?
Have you took photos?
No.
please take some photos, because I'd love to see them, what you're talking about. Take some photos.
Because I even was telling my boyfriend that.
I'll post them on my page as well. Because I've got psychic readings, okay? And I'll post that on there. And we'll let people have a look and see if they can see them.
And you know what? Sometimes some of them have, like, not one person, not one face, but two faces. So you'll see, like, two faces on one tree. And I'm like, what is going on? But
I love it.
Sue,
but please send me some pictures.
I will. But one more thing, Sue, about fairies. I always want to. I'm curious. Okay, they're part human, right? Or they're a little, or they're supposed to be, right? So
well, I'll be honest. I don't know a lot about about fairies. That's quite deep.
Wow.
I know there was somebody who dealt with angel cards and fairy cards and things, but I've never really. I must admit, I will definitely. Now you've said, I will definitely look up more about them. But you tell me what you know, what you think.
You know what? I see that people talk about them and talk about how small they are, and it's like, when I see them on YouTube and stuff like that, they show like them like a skeleton wise, but I still think, I'm like, that can't be real. There's gotta be something more to that. I'm like, I know that they're real, but I don't think they're like what people will make them look like on there. You know?
No, I can understand that. I can understand that. I think you're right. I don't think that they're as, let's face it, us humans always make everything look like human form, don't we? So everything, do you know what I mean? How can I put this?
They probably have some human in them, but we just don't know.
Yeah, exactly.
You know?
And this is when it comes to the same thing as I always say to everybody. I think the thing with me is the reason that I got into spiritualism, because it was something that I believed in because I could explain it. I could prove it, and I got evidence of it. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
I think the thing with angels is those that have seen and those that can explain can believe, but it's very, and not, I can't say that everybody who said to me about them has actually said that they're a certain type. I think everybody's got their own way of seeing. Do you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Let's put it this way. If I put 20 people in a row and told them all to look at a newspaper, each individual would see something different on that newspaper that was important to them.
That's true.
So imagine if everybody looked at fairies. Some people would say they had big wings. Some people would say they were tall. Some people would say they were small. Some people would say they had a big nose. Some people would say they got long hair. Everybody would look at something differently. Do you know what I mean?
That's true. Mm-hmm.
So there'd be a bigger emphasis on different things to whoever it was.
Yeah, but you know what? Here too, they protect nature. That they try to protect what people destroy every day.
Yeah. So
that's the only thing I do now.
Just for that thought alone, let's think about this. So you're saying that angels. Start again. My head's gone now, I think. You're saying that fairies are actually healing what's around us. All I can say to that is there must be billions and trillions of angels right now and fairies. Reason being is because of the fact that look at the world around us and look what society is doing to it.
Mhm. Little by little, it's getting smaller. As you see, like when they see the children are hungry. And
yep.
Mhm.
I look at things. I think because I'm spiritual, but also because I'm an animal advocate. I'm an advocate for so many different things. I think it's heartbreaking to see what we're actually doing to our world. And do you know what? Okay, I can honestly say, hand on heart, I've never seen a fairy, okay? All I
Me
will
neither.
say is...
But even though on TV and stuff, they make it look...
Yeah, all I can say is, Melissa, I really hope you're right. Because I really do believe that we do need some special fairies around us right now. Because this world and Mother Earth needs a lot of them.
Mhm.
I honestly think that, we're in a bad way at the minute. With the way that the world's going at the minute, we're in a bad way. And only us as society and fairies and gods and everything do all need to pull together and realise we've got to save what we've got. Because once it's gone, it's gone. I look at, we're fighting for tigers, lions, pandas and all these different things. And they're going. And people some people don't even blink, Melissa, to the fact that there may be only 5 of this and 2 of that. And
look how they are in danger. Some of them are still in danger because, people don't protect the wildlife.
Yeah. And once they're gone, they're gone. It's not like you can go back to a superstore and just order another pallet load of them. Once they're gone, that's it. Gone. Totally.
That's it.
As in, no more. And I just beg everybody, please just realise that this is what's happening to our world. Things are going, and they're going right in front of our eyes, and we're not, some of us aren't even blinking to the fact that they're going. And that's sad. My children might not even get to see any of those things, not even in a safari park, because the fact we went and lost it.
Wow.
We let them go. And that's
so it'd be
frightening.
disappointing for them to actually see the real thing, that they have to see pictures.
Yep, exactly.
Oh, wow.
And that's worrying, isn't it? That is worrying.
It's scary. It's very scary.
Definitely. Well, Melissa, thank you very much for calling into the show. And
I'm going to make sure.
I'll speak to you very soon. And give me an email, okay?
Okay, I definitely will.
Okay, and it's asksueshow@gmail.com, okay?
Okay, thank you.
Okay.
Bye-bye.
Okay, speak to you soon. I'm blessed. That was lovely, Melissa. She does call in, and we love her very much. She's absolutely brilliant. Let's go to the next call, which is Mary Lou. Hi, Mary Lou. How are you doing?
I'm great. How are you?
I'm good, thank you. Were you ringing in for anything in particular?
I haven't talked to you in so long. I was just wondering if I could get a reading.
Okay, come on then. Let's sneak one in. Have you got a question in particular, or?
I always like to ask about love life, but I don't have a specific question. Anything that comes up.
Okay. Okay. All I'm going to say to you first of all is I just feel lost with you. I can't work out if it's lost or it's lost. So I'm going to...
What? That's not off.
Does that make sense? I just feel...
Okay.
Sorry?
Yeah. Now, I've tried everything I think of in my life to try, and I've hit every wall you can hit. So if that doesn't make a person feel lost.
Right, okay. Have you had a problem with your blood?
Not sure, because I haven't gone to the doctor.
Okay, all I'm going to say to you is I feel like, for some reason, I've got something to do with my veins. They're showing me my veins, so I don't know. Have you been anemic or something? Have you suffered with anemic or something?
I don't know, because I haven't gone to a doctor.
Okay.
I'm tired, really, really tired, but I pushed through it. And
I was just about to say to you, have you felt really tired at the moment? Because I just suddenly feel like I just want to sit in the chair and go to sleep. I mean, admittedly, it is like 10:42 p.m. here, but but I feel like you could just literally put your head down and go to sleep.
Yep. But I pushed through it.
Okay.
I think it's my old age creeping in.
No, don't be daft. You don't ever own up to things like that. Not on this show. No.
No,
The fact that my birthday...
I am my age.
My birthday's coming up, right, and I'm going to be 39 this month. And my daughter said, well, don't worry about it, Mum, because let's face it, next year you'll be 40. Cheers for that. I love you too. Thanks.
At 40, I had my daughter.
Really?
And at 44, I had my son.
Oh, bless you.
And at 45, I had my divorce.
Big changes then.
Yeah.
Do you know what I want to say to you at this minute? The first thing that I'm asking them to give me some advice to give you, right? Because I feel like you almost need some help and guidance, right? And what I'm going to say to you is, they're sort of saying to me that, you know, when you're really as low as you can get and you've lost everything, that only means you can go upwards and gain everything.
Yeah. I don't want to lose everything before I go back up again.
No, I mean, at this moment you feel lost, okay?
Mm-hmm.
So the only thing you can do now is gain.
Yes.
Okay? I really feel like I think health-wise, you will feel better if you actually got yourself sorted. I feel like there is something, I think you may be anemic or something, because they're showing me your veins. I'm feeling like as if it's anemic or something of them lines.
It could be blood pressure.
Okay. It's something to do with your veins anyway. They keep showing me my veins in my arms. So you just need to go and get that checked out anyway.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like you're really struggling with things at the moment. But I feel like I'm fighting with myself.
You feeling what?
I feel like with you're fighting with yourself.
I am.
I'm going to say that you're arguing with yourself, and it's like you're tying yourself up in knots.
I am.
Yeah, okay. Okay. What is it that's keeping you quiet about something? There's something that needs to be said, but you're keeping quiet about it.
No, I'm pretty much saying my piece. I think.
Yeah, but there's something you're holding back on saying.
I don't think so. I try to keep my foot out of my mouth, but, I just have a tendency to speak my mind.
Well, in that case, then, let me say I've just took that the wrong way. I've got my fingers on my lips as if I was holding my mouth, and I was thinking, and I picked it up wrong because I was holding my mouth thinking that I'd got to be quiet. Sorry, I thought that it was because I wasn't saying something and I was being stopped from saying something. But maybe there's something that you're going to be saying, but you shouldn't then. Maybe I picked up that wrong. Because I'm feeling, I had my hand over my mouth but I thought it was something was stopping you from saying something.
No, I try to behave myself, but
you haven't really got a filter there, though, have you?
No, I have a filter, but I will dance around it, and if I really think it needs to be said, I will say it as delicately as I can. No, I have a filter.
No, but I don't mean that in a nasty way. People know that you will tell people as it is. There's no grey with you. Black's black, white's white.
I will tell it as it is, as politely as I can say it, but
yeah.
I'm not going to stand and always keep my mouth shut, especially if somebody needs support.
Yeah. Okay. I feel that once your health is sorted, you'll want to do more. I feel at the moment because you're tired and you just feel a loss. I think it's because you're just mentally and physically drained because of how you're feeling.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And I think there's nothing worse than, sometimes you can sit in the old chair and you think, I really want to go out, but I just haven't got the energy. Do you know what I mean?
I'll just sit in the chair and get more work done. And really
I've done that myself, and And trust me, it catches up with you. I know, because I've done the same thing myself.
But you didn't get as much done as you thought you would in that period of time.
No, because you're so tired that you actually feel like you've done loads, but actually look back and you didn't do as much as you thought you had.
Right.
I understand that. I totally understand that. I'm just going to, they're going back to these veins. I'm going to have to say to you, you've got to check. It's something to do with your blood of some sort. Okay? It just, because this has been going on now, I would say about 6 months.
Or longer, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. I just feel like things are going to get better for you, but once you feel better yourself. You know, you've got to look after the old body, because if the body gives way, you can't do anything. Okay? You just really do need to look after yourself. You need to put you first to be able to carry on doing what you want to do.
Yes. It's true.
Do you know what I mean?
So do you see anything from my love life? Girls got to ask all the time.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I'm going to say to you that I can see this. This isn't going to be yet. I'm going to say to you about 6 to 8 months. Okay, I'm going to say near 8 months. Okay? But this isn't going to be somebody that you're looking for. This is just somebody that you randomly meet and get on.
Okay.
Because, because at the moment, I'm going to say to you that even if you met somebody at the moment, you don't really know what you want. Do you know what I mean? Because of how you are with your health-wise, it's like you don't really know what you want at the minute. You don't know if you want to go out. You don't know if you want to stay in. You don't know if you want this or if you want the other. Does that make sense?
I hear that. I have trouble wrapping my head around that because I always feel like I know what I want. But people have said that to me before.
Yeah. I think you are the sort of person who usually does, but I think it's your health at the moment because it's like, if you feel really tired and you've organised to go for a walk, you don't go because you're tired, but really you want to go for a walk.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, and then you get fatter. Then you get fatter.
Yeah, you know what I mean? So I just think things are going to change for you. As soon as you're better, you're going to see a new you. There'll be a difference. Okay? And that's when, I'm going to say 8 months, and that's when you're going to just meet somebody. It's not going to be you'll be looking. He's just going to appear.
Okay.
Is that okay?
That's great.
Okay. Well, listen. You look after yourself. Please let me know how you get on, and please go and get checked up. Okay?
I will. I'm not that sick. I do get tired, and it is not really explainable.
Yeah, I know what you mean. Well, listen. You look after yourself, and I'll speak again really soon. Okay?
All right. Thanks. Bye.
Okay, cheers. Bye-bye. Right, I can't believe how fast time is going, to say the least. Let's go to the last caller. Hold on a minute. Hi, now I'm going to try and say this without making a mess of it. Kakila, is that right?
Yes, Kakelia.
See, it was nearly. It was just that UK twang that messed it up. How are you doing? Welcome to the show.
I'm doing good, thank you.
Good. And have you enjoyed the show?
Yes, I have enjoyed the show. It's pretty awesome, pretty cool.
Good.
Yeah, I was here in the beginning, and then I finally came back. So I'm happy I was able to get in and be the last caller. Thank you for picking me up.
It's quite all right. So have you got a question? What's going on with you at the moment, or what's?
Yes. My question is, recently I found that I have like a really low energy vibration level right now. And I know one way to raise it, one that we're suggesting is have friends with higher energy levels. And I want to know, like, how would I know that, like, the negative ones are taking from me versus the ones that are helping build it, like the friends and all that. So that's my question.
So you're struggling. I feel like you've got loads of people that you know, but it's hard to distinguish those that are acquaintances and those that are friends.
Yeah, and so I feel like I'm keeping more to myself a little bit more now, these past couple of months. But I don't know. I feel like I'm going to start getting more spiritual since I'm more by myself. I'm going to start meditating more to raise my energy level vibration. But I just want to know, how would I distinguish between the low negative ones? Because it's not like being around them like they're saying negative things all the time. Because I know that's one of the ways to distinguish if they're being so negative. But I don't know. Like, even if it's family, I wouldn't want to drop anyone who's family. If do you get what I'm trying to get to or ask? Or?
You know what? I understand totally. At this moment in time, I've got into a stage in my life where I've literally sat here and I thought, what do I actually want? What about what I want, right? And I can understand totally, because I've literally got to a stage, and at the moment I've got the car, I sold my car and everything, and you suddenly realise who your friends are, right?
Yeah.
Your friends, your top friends are the ones you can call at 2 o'clock in the morning and you tell them that there's an emergency, can they come and help?
Yeah.
How many of your friends can you do that to?
I don't know. I really couldn't say, because I don't even know if I'm really if I'm even that good of a friend per se, because I don't know, I feel like I need to be a better friend as well. Like, it's not them as well as me that needs to contribute and talk more and go and do more outings and stuff like that. So I feel like I need to work on that too. I'm
going to say to you that at one point in your life you didn't know if you were literally coming or going. And I'm going to say the words messed up.
Yeah.
And you have got to find yourself. You have just literally made you what everybody else wants you to be, not what you want to be. And if I asked you questions about yourself, you wouldn't even know the answers because you don't know yourself.
Yeah.
Are you at the moment where you've shut the doors on everything at the minute? You just don't even want to go out?
No.
You haven't yet?
No, I don't. Yeah, I don't even have the need to do that or want to do that right now. Yeah. And I should be, because I'm in college, and people and like friends always tell me, oh, you need to go out and do this, not always lay around and all that. But I feel like I need to work on myself more. I just feel like, because I know I'm at a lower vibration and all that. So
yeah.
I don't know. I feel like I need to work on me.
Yeah, I would say to you that you need to just get a big piece of paper, right? Don't try and do it all at once. But just think of things that you want to do and things that you want to achieve and things to make yourself better, and put round you on that piece of paper. So put you in the middle, even if you get a picture of you, and then put things around you that you want to be around you. Okay? And even if that means friends, put your friends' names on there, the ones that you want around you, those that you don't think, or put on a scale where you want them to be. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And the main thing, and I want to say this to everybody, is if you're unsure, go with your gut instinct.
Okay.
Do you know what I mean? You are switched on enough to know in your heart what is right and what is wrong. And I'm going to say to you, I feel like I want to lift you up at the minute because I feel you're quite low, and you do need to literally work out what you want around you. At this moment in time, you might only want 2 or 3 things around you at the moment. But that's fine to let other things just move a little bit away from you, sort those 3 things out, and then fetch a couple more things to you.
Yeah.
There's nothing wrong with having a bit of you time and sorting out what you want and who you are.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Now, I've got to say to you that I've got a friend of mine who's in the chat room, and he's got a page on Facebook called Universal Psychic Readings and Guidance, and he's got things on there about the crystals and things. And I'm sure if you inbox him, he would give you a bit of guidance about what crystals to use and things as well. That might help you, especially around your home and that as well.
Okay.
Okay. Are you in the chat room at the moment?
Yes.
Right. I'll put his link, or he probably will have already put the link in there if I know him. But have a look at his page, and it'll give you some links and different guidance on crystals to use as well.
Okay.
Is that okay?
Yes.
Okay. Well, thank you very much for calling into the show tonight anyway. Okay, thanks very much. Cheers.
Okay.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Well, thank you very much, everybody, for an absolute brilliant show tonight. Thank you very much to Lisa Barretta for joining us on the show. Thank you very much to all our callers tonight. You've been absolutely brilliant. I've really, really enjoyed tonight's show. So thank you very much to everybody. Go to Universal Psychic Readings and Guidance. That's my friend Max's page. And you can also go to myself, Ask Sue Psychic Readings, and that's on... my head's gone totally. And that's on Facebook as well. And you can also go into Ask Sue... email asksueshow@gmail.com. Thank you very much to everybody who's called in, and I shall speak to you all very, very soon. Good night, everybody. Bye-bye.